At night, all the engines were settled in their sheds, but a certain engine was still working. That engine was Kyra. Mr. Egan asked her to deliver stone to the new construction site near Otisville. The work had to be done at night so the builders could get a good start in the morning. Kyra left the stone cars and returned to her shed at Middletown. When she arrived, she packed into her berth and fell asleep. "Wake up, Kyra," said a voice. Kyra awoke to find her crew getting her ready for the first train. "It's morning already," she yawned. "Yes," answered Sarah. "You arrived back very late last night." Kyra's fire was slow to make steam due to her being so tired. This caused her to be late. The diesel was waiting impatiently. "You're late," he snapped. "This isn't good." "Give me a break," huffed Kyra. "I was working last night." "That's no excuse," the diesel declared. "Engines should always be on time and ready to work. You're going to be the reason we lose traffic to the roads." "Whatever," sighed Kyra and steamed off. Kyra tried to make up for lost time, but she was so exhausted she couldn't. She was relieved when she could finally go back to her shed for a rest. Larry and Taylor were there. They had just brought in a train of oil tankers. "What's the matter?" asked Larry. "I'm tired from taking the stone train last night," replied Kyra. "You poor engine," sympathized Taylor. "That sounds brutal." Kyra sighed and closed her eyes. "Kyra! Kyra!" Larry called quietly. Kyra didn't reply. "Taylor, she's asleep," whispered Larry. "Don't be so silly," puffed Taylor. "No, she isn't." "Kyra, your bell looks well polished," Taylor said. There was no reply. "See?" Larry said. Kyra then woke up to find Larry and Taylor gazing at her. "What happened?" she asked. "You were asleep," Larry answered. "I was?" "Yes, you were," added Taylor. "We were talking to you and everything." On and on it went. Kyra would take the rock trains at night, and during the day she drowsily went about her work. On Friday, however, everything came to a head. Kyra backed into her shed after taking the first train. She was extra tired today because the cars behaved badly the night before and made the trip difficult. Once she was in her shed, her crew went to have lunch. Kyra closed her eyes and went to sleep. Suddenly, unbeknownst to her, she began to move out of the shed on her own. She bumped into some hopper cars and began pushing them through the yard towards the main line. Larry was in the yard waiting for Christian to arrive when he saw Kyra pushing the hoppers asleep. He then heard the sound of a passenger train on the main line. Larry blasted his whistle. "Kyra, wake up, stop!" But Kyra was in such a deep sleep she couldn't hear him. "If you get alongside, I could jump over and apply our brakes," suggested Larry's fireman. "No, that's too dangerous," Larry cried. He looked over and saw a derail. "Grab that derail," he told his driver. He did, and they headed off to save Kyra and the passengers. Larry reversed quickly and passed Kyra. His driver set up the derail and got out of the way fast. The first hopper hit the derail and jumped the track, stopping the runaway. Kyra awoke with a start as the RDC Budd Cars roared past. Larry's fireman quickly shut off Kyra's steam. Larry, how did I get here? She asked. You were sleep shunting, Larry answered. Larry and Christian pulled Kyra clear so Roger could clean up the mess. The accident wasn't Kyra's fault, said her driver. I'm aware of that, replied Mr. Egan, but I have been getting reports of you being late. It's because I've been so tired from taking the stone train at night, said Kyra sadly. Excuse me, sir, Larry piped up. Maybe Christian and I can help. How? Asked Kyra. That's a good question, added Mr. Egan. I had to say it was a wonderful idea. Kyra took the stone trains at night. Then in the mornings, Larry and Christian took it in turns covering her work so she could rest. Ray carefully adjusted the schedules so other ends could cover Larry and Christian's work on the main line. Soon the foundations were done and the stone trains were no longer needed. A few mornings later, Larry and Christian were at Middletown, ready to take a train of empty hoppers to the quarry, but they had to wait for Kyra to depart with the first train. I'm glad that's over so we can get back to normal, smiled Kyra. I second that, puffed Larry. And we did so well, Mr. Egan promised us new coats of paint, added Christian. Now where's that main line train? Wondered Kyra. Soon the diesel rolled in. You're late, snapped Kyra sarcastically. It's not my fault, rumbled the diesel. I had to cover a train last night. That's a sorry excuse. Engines should always be on time, no matter what. You're going to be the reason why we lose traffic to the roads. The diesel was livid. Larry and Christian laughed as Kyra puffed away, a much happier and well-rested engine.
Like that now, D&D, so we call it Dominic. It's John Samar. It's the NS crew. Yeah, so they stop. Watco takes care of all Phillips 66's other plants. All of them. And we were the only one that Watco didn't do. And